All right, let's bring her in right now. She got all our SEC news. Kelsey Farese, how are you?
Hey guys. Well, I'm wearing black today. We are currently in a state of mourning, uh, as you know, and I saw that you are rubbing in my face a little bit.
Yep.
Ole Miss fell to Kentucky this weekend, and it's been dark. It's been a dark, dark
Now
day.
let me ask you this. It's interesting being on a win streak, but as soon as you lose, are all the fans turning their back and going after Lane?
That's sort of what we're seeing. I think sometimes when things have been built up so much, and I think as a program there's been a lot of promises and a lot of hype made. I mean, there's been mentions and interviews after interview, quoting, we're looking for the natty, and I think that gets people way up on a high horse. But at the same time, real Ole Miss fans, we actually knew this was it's not the Georgia game. It's not the games down the road that you have to look out for as an Ole Miss fan. It's these games that people assume are going to be an easy win. Those are usually the games that we lose historically. It doesn't matter.
But you knew, Kelsey, this wasn't going to be an easy win. You knew Kentucky had a defense. You even mentioned that.
I knew absolutely that just because their defense, it was so deep, just like an NFL team. But the thing was, I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to keep up with the pace of Ole Miss, but they were, and they were really able to dominate. So, and also, I think that your good buddy Mark Stoops, I think he learned a lot from the Georgia game. Not really going for it, not making those aggressive play calls, and he wasn't going to make the same mistakes against Ole Miss that he made against Georgia. And here we are.
Wow. I mean, I love it for Stoops. I love Mark Stoops. We're good friends. I'm happy he pulled out the win. I did say if anybody, the upset of the week was going to be this, I did still pick Ole Miss to win, and I will admit that too, because I didn't think they could keep up either. But I did feel that this was the upset of the week, if there was an upset to happen.
Crazy.
All right, let's talk about the craziness of Alabama and Georgia. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was on stage. I get off the stage, and it's 28-0. What happened in the first one? How'd they score that many points?
Look, I think this was all coming down to coaching. I think Kirby was being a little conservative. I don't think that he was making the right calls. I think they went in at halftime and they were like, we've got to flip the script. We've got to make some big changes, because they knew that they had just as talented of an offense. And if they could get them out there, they could start making some plays. I also think maybe Alabama went in at halftime and they were like, we're sitting pretty, everything's good, and started maybe underestimating them a little bit, thinking that they had it in the bag. But what was truly mind-blowing to me was the talent from the freshmen, these 17-year-old kids that were getting
Riley Williams.
I mean, absolutely crazy. 75-yard touchdown, and then another freshman catches that interception in the end zone, the game-ending score. Just absolutely insane, bonkers. And I think it was only like a minute and 13 seconds after Georgia had just scored that they turned and flipped it. So a perfect example, a prime example of SEC football. Very competitive, very just nasty, dirty, and fun to watch.
And by the way, Forrest, did you see that Alabama play where the freshman intercepted the ball away from Georgia?
Yeah.
You know who was trying to catch that ball on Georgia?
Who?
Colby Young, the guy that left Miami, because we all said at Miami he never went after jump. He's something.
I didn't realize that.
6'3", 6'4", never went after jump balls. And he's always taller than everybody. Yeah. And he wasn't hungry to get the ball. And he let this freshman basically take the ball, didn't even try for it.
Yeah, I didn't realize that's what it was.
It was like, he even said in his post-game interview, he said it was like a slow motion grab, and then he spun off. He was so elusive too when he took off with the ball. I mean, it was absolutely, he was like, it looks a lot faster on tape, but it was slow motion for me. And I was like, I bet that was just a moment in time where he was like, am I actually out here doing this right now for Alabama? This is crazy.
But Colby Young, man, the receiver, it's a thing where we had that problem with him at Miami. So much potential,
yeah.
But like he didn't get 50-50 balls, hardly ever. Yeah. And it was crazy to see that's the guy that didn't go after the ball and the freshman took it from him. So
yeah. Trump was there. You know, it was a spectacle. I cannot imagine how electric that it was to be there. Also, just watching the Alabama fans crumble up until, right until the end. They kept showing all the fans and they were all just almost weeping. They couldn't believe it. But
that's what I love, Kelsey. That's what college football brings. And no matter what that's why to me college is way better than the NFL. I mean, college football brings it out. You feel it's so invested. Like I've been to 9 Super Bowls, covering 9 Super Bowls. There's so many, half the people there just want to say they went to the Super Bowl because normal fans can't afford it. So college is something everybody truly wants their team to win. All right.
Also the players. Good example. The Ravens walloped the Bills the other night, and at the end of the game, Allen and Lamar Jackson are hugging. They're just talking about how many millions they have. At the end of the Miami-Virginia Tech game, Cam Ward went up to his cousin, Drones, and he was not having it.
He didn't want nothing to do with it.
He was not having it. It was like, so the emotion is so much greater.
All right, Kelsey, let's talk about your picks for this week. What games should we look out for? Let's run through them real quick.
Well, of course, I'm going to be watching Ole Miss is traveling to South Carolina, an especially interesting game considering the fact that early in the season, South Carolina beat Kentucky. So who knows what's going to happen there. Ole Miss, I'm hoping if they win this game, this is going to be one of their beginning of a redemption story. Like, look, we're getting this literal lane train back on track and we are going to go for the natty. Okay. And so I'm really hoping that they come out to win. I think they're favorited to win and I'm going to put my money on it. Ole Miss is going to beat South Carolina 31-22 on the road.
I'll go with that. I'll go with Ole Miss. I think they get it back on track. I think you can't compare South Carolina and Kentucky. Teams play different against different people. They match up different. So I will go Ole Miss. Forrest?
I found out that Jackson Dart's dad's name is Brandon. I don't like that name. So I'm going again. I'm just kidding. I think Ole Miss gets back on track. They're a better team than South Carolina. They have the offense.
Rudy!
By the way, Brandon is spelled B and then 3 R's and then 2 A's and an N and a W. Anyways, no, I'm going to go with Ole Miss, obviously, in this one, but I'm going to go just around where Kelsey's at. I'm going to say 33-19.
Nice. What do we got next, Kelsey?
Honestly, I'm so heartbroken over the Ole Miss thing. I don't know if I have it in me to watch any other games, but I guess if I'm going to, I'm going to say I'm going to watch the Tennessee at Arkansas game. I know Tennessee are heavy favorites, but Arkansas is just one of those slippery, kind of elusive teams, just right when people think they're pegging them in the right spot, they're going to, bump it up. So it is going to be a road game for Tennessee. But they're coming off a bye week, and Arkansas is coming off a pretty nasty loss from Texas A&M. All that being said, I think it's going to be a great game, but I'm still going to go Tennessee is going to win on the road 37-23.
I agree with that. I mean, Tennessee, I think, could blow the door. You're right. At some days, Arkansas is sneaky good. They're sneaky good. But Tennessee is just a powerhouse to me. I mean, I think you're going to see Tennessee in the semifinals for sure. For sure. Mark it down. Tennessee will be in the semifinals, maybe even championship game. I can't see this game being close. I don't know what the score is, but I will say this. They win by 21. So let me guess. 45-24? Forrest?
I think it'll be closer. I think Tennessee's big wins have come against schools that have gotten exposed, like Oklahoma last week, lost to K-State. Big. And so it is at Arkansas. I do think Tennessee will win it, but I'm going to say like 24-21. Very close.
Rudy.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. It's going to be a little bit closer than what everybody else is predicting. I'll say 27. Did you say 27-24? No, you said 24-21. So I'm going to go 27-24.
All right. We got one more game, Kelsey, or is that it?
Honestly, that's it for me, guys. I'm in a state of mourning. So I've got to put all my time, energy, and focus on Ole Miss, getting them back on track, and then we'll see. We'll see what the next week can do for us. I'm still recovering, a little wounded.
We'll send flowers from Comics on Canes. We'll send you flowers for the morning.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Thank you, Kelsey. How can people follow you?
Guys, y'all can find me on Instagram. It's just my name, @Kelsey Farese, or on my podcast, The Lawyer's Daughter.